YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Markell Simons coming at y'all with another banger video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe if y'all is new to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. Shout out to everybody who's been showing me love and support. Make sure y'all join the TDT trading community. First link in the description. Make sure y'all join the mentorship. It's only $30 a month, or you can pay $300 a year. Basically, you get 2 months for free, and you know you can just strive, work on becoming a better trader, and just get help from somebody who actually know what they're doing in the market, has experience, has taken a lot of losses, has failed a lot. Um, I'm happy that I've been through what I've been through because it's an experience that I can have with me for the rest of my life, and I can help people who's striving to become a trader. I can help them when they're facing those challenges that I've already overcome. So let's get right into this video. Today, or last night, we took a short on Solana for a potential 4.7% trade. 4% secured. I secured probably like 75%, like somewhere around here. And I'm leaving a 25% runner just in case we want to go lower. Okay. We could see displacement towards these liquidity POIs, maybe even lower. Potentially, we could be in a bearish PL3 right now, where we have a full rotation towards this technical target down here, towards this low. But obviously, we will have to first disrespect this demand POI and squeeze through it before we can think about lower prices, right? But let's get right into this trade recap. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to first off go back here. Boom. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of this. I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to save it. Make sure y'all drop a like on this video. Make sure y'all go follow me on X. My X is Markell Simons _. I posted this trade I did live in my community. I posted it in TCT community. I gave it to somebody privately, and I gave it out on my X. If you did not take advantage of this setup, you must don't follow me, or you just faded me, and that's okay, But sooner or later, y'all will stop fading me. Bro. Nah, but all jokes aside, as y'all can see, we had this aggressive sell-off, and then we started breaking structure back to bullish, creating higher lows and higher highs. Looking at our market structure pool, you can see coming up, we're creating higher lows, higher high, and then a higher low for a higher high, right? So at this moment in time, I pulled my range from top to bottom, and this gave me my initial range low. And my initial range, this gave me my initial range high and my initial range low, right? Just like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in replay mode and just pretend like, okay, this is all the price action that we have right now, right? I'm not even gonna mark out no demand POIs. You can mark out your demand POIs, right? Go to the lower time frame, go to the left and figure out where your demand POIs are, right? For an example, this would be like a nice demand POI that you could potentially take a partial at, right? Because you know, maybe we just distribute to mitigate demand to go higher, right? So you always want to, use proper trade management, especially if you're not trying to pass no evaluation or nothing. You're just trying to make consistent gains. Just worry about hitting those, those base runs. Don't be trying to go for like a home run, knocking it out the park. Like, you know what I'm saying? Consistently stack those small wins, and over time, it's gonna lead to large gains. It's that simple. But y'all can see we had our initial range high, we had our initial range low, right? And then we tapped into the equilibrium, confirming the range. So at this moment in time, if you're watching this price action live and you see price aggressively get an expansion back inside the range, right? You could say, okay, well, potentially we are about to have a distribution schematic, right? Either a model 2, where we come and we tap into that extreme demand, right? Breaking structure back to bearish. That's our confirmation to go short right here, and we target the opposite extreme point, which would be the range low for a distribution schematic. Or a model 1, where we sweep the range high, once more, and then we break structure back to bearish. This is your confirmation. Okay. So at this moment in time, what I like to do is when I see price is rejecting, we're in a range. I want to see where did price reject from, right? So I pull out my horizontal tool. I place it at the top of that candle. You click control to like use your magnet right here. You can click it, and then you can do it like that. But shortcut is just hold control. And as y'all can see, like when I'm like this, I'm not holding control, but as soon as I hold control, it go right to it. So just hold control. Boom. Go back. See where the line went and select around that area, right? Then go to the lower time frame and see if we actually bounced or rejected from a supply POI, right? Making this setup higher probability. Let's see what happened. So as y'all can see, we ended up this is our supply right here. I didn't mean to do that. Dang it. Okay. That should be good. So as y'all can see, this is the supply that got created on the move down, right? Let me zoom out so I can actually show y'all. But we were creating lower highs and lower lows, right? And then at this moment in time, we end up creating a lower high for a lower low, and we got an aggressive expansion towards the downside. All right, this aggressive expansion towards the downside left inefficiency. We can use these last two bullish candles as our supply POI, where we can potentially, get a rejection from if you already pre-planned and was looking for POIs for potential areas where we can look for setups. So at this moment in time, I'm like, okay, cool, this looks good. Let me go back to replay mode. So I pre-planned this. I gave it out in advance. You can check my Twitter. This had to be one of the easiest setups ever. The POIs was just perfect, beautiful POIs from a third top perspective. Nothing really you can do. Like, look at this. We tapped into this third top. We tapped into this extreme supply and we rejected, these last two bullish candles before the aggressive expansion towards the downside, leaving inefficiency. We come back and we reject. That indicates that, okay, market makers are filling their short positions to go lower. On top of that, we already had some distributive price action before we came into this range, right? Right here, you can see we had a distribution schematic. So when you're looking at my charts and you see these blue lines on my charts, I'm just putting these out, pointing it out to tell myself, okay, we're having distributive price action. So that will give me a higher conviction to take the setup. Okay. So now what we do, price start grinding up. As price is grinding up, I'm like, okay, where can I potentially get an entry? Guess what? We have two more bullish candles right here. That's kind of right near that initial range high, right? You want your third tap to be somewhere near that first tap, right? That initial range high. And yeah, I seen this rejection from the supply POI. If you could have just entered on the supply, right, with a limit order like this. I wanted to be patient and wait for a reconfirmation. This would have given you a 4.47. I got a 4.7, so same thing, But I was looking at, okay, I want a reconfirmation, right? So looking at price action, you gotta wait for price to break structure back to bearish. So as y'all can see, we're getting higher lows and higher highs. So I, technically speaking, would need to wait for this low to get broken in order for me to enter this trade. That was kind of my pre-planning how I wanted to go about it. I seen price reject. I seen us start coming down. We started coming close to the entry, and I decided to go long, go short. With my stop above this high as the protected high. Price should not come above this high. We come above this high, more than likely we're gonna go and sweep these other highs, right? Because it's just at this point we're just leaving lower highs. Sooner or later it becomes liquidity. the more you go down and you keep leaving these highs, eventually when you get that breaker structure back to bullish, you're gonna go take out all those highs more than likely, right? You're gonna squeeze and maybe take out those highs, but yeah, I ended up entering with about a 4.7% 4.7% trade. Let me actually see where my position is. So I entered right here. So as y'all can see, I didn't enter right away, right? I stayed patient. I was like, okay, let me see what's gonna happen, right? You don't have to enter right away, bro. Patience is key, bro. If you don't see what you want, you don't have to enter. And I was aware that we had demand right here, right? But I was like, okay, this looks really good. Let me enter this. I'm seeing what I want to see. I like the rejection that we're getting from the supply POI, and I know that this is an entry, right? You can enter on a limit order right here if you wanted to, because we already got a breaker structure back to bearish right here, confirming this as a model, right? I'm telling y'all my entry, but the actual entry would have been right here. This would have been your actual entry, right? Stop above that high. If you would have got in on the third tap, I ended up getting in on the LPSY, which is just the last point of supply. 1 second. I'm doing the video. 1 second. And then this would have been your trade for a 4% trade. Potential 4%. But would you take this breaker structure knowing there's no return to zone? No. Right? So at this moment in time, I took this trade. Guess what I'm looking at? I'm looking at all these lows stacking up. All these lows, which gives me the conviction that we're going to have a move lower, right? Because we already in the confirmed distribution schematic. Now we're having a slow grind up, leaving this sell side liquidity below. I know once we come into this LPSY, this last point of supply, LPS, my fault. Yeah, LPSY, we're going to reject, right? So that should be a protected high. I enter right there and I target the low for a 4.7% gain. That's simple. We had this demand POI. I was monitoring it, seeing what it's going to do. Yeah, I almost got stopped out on this, to be honest. Price came so close to stopping me out, but that high was protected. And then after I see like, oh dang, we have a nice 3-tap model up here too on top of that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to play out. So at this moment in time, could you add more to your position? Potentially, if you have that conviction. But you know, just seeing like this distributive price action, right? That starts the range, and then seeing like price respecting the supply POIs, that should give you conviction like, oh yeah. And then having this nice sell side liquidity. On top of that, we have been just, constantly going up for the past few days. For about 6-7 days, we just been on an uptrend. So, price can, cool down and get some type of retracement before going higher. So letting it play out, y'all can see I ended up going to sleep. I had my stop loss to break even. Once we pushed down here, my stop loss was to break even, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna let the trade play out. I'm going to sleep. Simple as that. I'm not gonna focus on something that I can't control, right? We control what we can control, and whenever you're trading, you just have to accept that you don't know the outcome of each trade, right? So, not knowing the outcome and understanding that every trade is not going to be a winner, and already accepting that, okay, this is already a loss. I already lost this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not even here no more. And I did everything I'm supposed to do. I'm okay with losing this. I'm okay with losing this trade because I did everything in my pocket, everything that I was supposed to do. If I would have got stopped out right here, okay, cool. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Would I have looked for a re-entry? Maybe, if I was paying attention and I seen like, oh, this is a Model 1 instead of a Model 2. In this case, it ended up being a Model 2 because we ended up getting the lower high for the lower low. But if we would have got the higher high for the lower low, then it would have been a Model 1 because we would have swept the high one more time. But yeah, this is your setup, and this is how I go about finding high probability setups, right? When these setups appear, you just take them, bro. You take them, set your TP, your stop loss, and let the trade play out. If you're a beginner, if you're advanced, you can manage your trade. But as y'all can see, it played out flawlessly, and right now we are, what are we doing now? Okay, so we're kind of hovering around here, which is cool. I took a 75% TP in this area, and I'm leaving a 25% runner to either get stopped out or to have a running towards the downside in case we start to reject from here. But yeah, that's the end of the trade recap. Hopefully you was able to learn something. If not, rewatch this video, I'm telling you, and learn. Go don't just rewatch the video. Go and do this yourself. While I'm doing it, do it at the same time. On top of that, if you look at this volume area, we had a nice distributed volume profile. I like to use volume profile and confluence with my setups. Y'all see this? Beautiful, evenly distributed price action. We came towards that volume area high up here, right? When I see that we're not getting acceptance outside of the volume area low, that kind of indicates that we can have a rotation back towards the volume area. I mean, we're not getting acceptance outside the volume area high. That indicates to me that we're potentially about to have a rotation back towards the volume area low. That's kind of how I kind of use the volume area, and I like to have, you know, where the PLC is in the premium section of the range when I'm looking for distribution schematics, and where the volume area low is kind of near the equilibrium. But yeah, this was a very high probability setup, very good setup, and hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, join the TDT community, join the mentorship, come learn how I trade, come take the setups that I take, and come strive to become a consistently successful trader. It's your boy Markell Simons, aka K4. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. I'm gone. Peace.